right, friends, I'm here with the Heberts. We got Ryan and Tara here with us.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Yeah, so we are here with Hang On, Hang In, Haygood. It's our third edition, and the purpose of us doing this is to help people feel like they have other people that are going through this COVID-19 together. We're not alone, and so we're going to be interviewing them. The format is, how are you hanging on? How do you encourage other people to hang in? And what do you miss about your church there at Haygood? So welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean, I'm not Jimmy Fallon or anything here, but it is good to see you guys. It's been a while since I've seen your faces, so it's wonderful to see y'all, even though it's not in person, but this will do. This will do. Well, just catch us up. How have you guys been hanging on in the midst of COVID-19?
I mean, by a thread.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been difficult. It's been probably one of the hardest things we've ever had to do. Having an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old has been a really big challenge of both of us working. And Tara's company has doubled her requirements of what she needs to do. So it's been a challenge, but in reality, it's been a really good thing for us when you look at it from the positive aspect, because we've really gotten a lot closer and a lot better as teammates. And we've really, take this head on and know how important it is that we stay home and we keep our family careful and keep them safe. So me and her have just been working as a team a lot stronger because of it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Okay. I have one that just got out of bed. She's supposed to be in bed.
Hi.
So
have a strong inclination. We'll get the same from on our end. It's only a matter of time.
She had a bike wreck the other day. That's why she's all kind of bruised up there. So
no.
Yeah.
We had a Chin meets Lanier Street ordeal with MC as well. So it's happening. It's with it getting as warm as it is, you can't not take a walk after work every day. But that's been part of how we've been hanging on. We've been taking walks after work. We've been when we shut down, we really shut down and we spend time with the girls. And for the most part, I'm taking the morning time with the girls and working at the same time because she's feeding at night, so she'll be more helpful in the evening times with the girls. But just balancing it out, doing best we can.
How do you do that? How do you shut off? Like that will be that's been the hard part sometimes for us, is like the shut off work so that we can like be there with the kids, because these lines are being blurred between work and home. So how do you do that?
I've got a really good understanding boss that also had 2 children whenever he was at the really core of his career like I am right now. And he's very understanding that, when I work 7 to 4, that means 7 to 4. He knows I'm committed, and he knows that I'm probably eating lunch out of the desk, and that I'm probably holding a baby on one WebEx while I'm writing an email with the other hand. But at 4 o'clock, I disconnect from the VPN, and that means I'm off. That means whatever happens after this, unless it's a huge ordeal for the company, I'm disconnected. Nice. And that's been able to help with her.
So this is where we opposites attract. I cannot disconnect. I cannot do it. I'm the world's worst at it. It's a sales thing. I always have my phone on me. People are texting me. I had a client who was just texting me up to 15 minutes ago. We're looking at 8:30 at night here. So I am the world's worst. What I've had to do is on the weekends, my phone dies and I purposely do not recharge it. And I do that on purpose because if I recharge it, the emails are going to come through, the text messages are going to come through. And so I guess it's more of an ignorance is bliss for me in that situation. If I know it's there, I'm going to want to pick it up. But by my phone being dead, I don't know that it's, that there's anything. And so I'm able to do that. Ryan mentioned we make it a point to do things outside. So we spend every waking minute, Saturdays and Sundays, outside. After we try.
Probably 2-3 times a week after work, we'll get her to shut down and take a family walk. And we'll go either ride bikes and pull the girls in the back cart, or we'll do the double
Nice.
stroller and just walk around our neighborhood. And we've been able to see so many people from Haygood that way too.
Yeah, we passed by so many people.
It's been great.
But we call it getting the wiggles out. We say to MC, we got to get the wiggles out, and we'll just go. But yeah, to Ryan's point, we actually run into a lot of people from Haygood just walking around the neighborhood. But that's how we're able to. I have to make more of an effort to disconnect. I'm really, really bad at it, and so that's kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone and helping me to do something that I probably honestly should have been doing all along. It's kind of put a mirror up in front of me that this is an issue that I have and that I need to address it. It's just became much more apparent.
Our children, when we're on the phone a little bit too much, when they want us to pay attention, they'll grab our phones and like slam it down, say no phone. They're like very clear on that.
I love it.
So yeah, they want our attention, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I think that's one of the things I want our groups to know out there. Like we're in this together, and yeah, when people see us probably walking, we want to say everything's good, but there's some hard parts about this, and it's hard on the kids too. You were mentioning that earlier, I think. And how have your kids responded to this?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part for us. I'm seeing how it's emotionally affecting MC, and she's not able to verbalize it. She's 3, so she's not able to say, this is causing this, but I see certain little things that I can tell. She's playing with her baby dolls, and she's having conference calls with her baby dolls, or she tells her stuffed animals, I can't play right now, I have to work. And so she's mimicking what she's seeing, and it breaks my heart. It really hurts that that like that's what she sees, and it makes me emotional because I don't want her to think that we are not paying attention to her. I mean, I know that there's a healthy pay attention to your children, and then there's a healthy not, but I don't know. It really hurts when I see her do that, if that's what she's mimicking and seeing.
We love our jobs and we love what we do, but we also love that it affords us the ability to give our girls better opportunities than we had, or a better path. And it's hard whenever you're doing it for them, but they're not at the stage in life to understand it. Sure. All they see is mommy and daddy are prioritizing something over them, right? So
yeah. But the reality is, if we were in normal time, they just wouldn't see it. We're actually spending more time with them. They just don't see it. And so that's the hard part.
They'd be at school playing.
Right.
So, and then, typically our old routine was they'd be at school playing, we'd work, they'd come home, we'd unwind for a couple hours, and then I would get back on after they were asleep. So what they saw in their little bubble was, anytime I'm with mommy and daddy, I'm spending time with mommy and daddy. And so that's kind of the picture, I guess, that we had painted for them. And now that they're not going to school, they're seeing it all.
Right.
And so yeah.
And even as a 3-year-old, a couple of times she's been able to, after she did something bad, she would literally say, I did that because I wanted you to pay attention to me. So it's just been difficult.
Right. So I would imagine that you guys are not alone. I'm certainly can resonate with this. Parents feeling a lot of parent guilt probably, but also realizing it's not their fault, but we still feel the guilt. What do you do to encourage people? You're thinking about moving on to that next question about how you can encourage people to hang in. What would you do to encourage other parents, other folks out there, that maybe people that are in different circumstances too, but specifically the parents right now? What do you think you can do to encourage them?
It's not all bad. I mean, I know, like, hanging on, the first thing I think of is hanging on, is my mind reverts straight to the negative of all the things that have been going on. The not being able to pick up in Frances as much as I'd like to, and her begging for me to hold her. There's been a lot of good. I mean, I've got a Google Photos session with my mom and her mom set up where it automatically uploads it for them. And they're like, man, you're taking so many pictures of the girls, and it's because I'm around and I'm here, and finding old pictures of MC and then reproducing them with Francis wearing the same clothes or in the same portion of the house. So doing cool stuff like that. We've been fixing up the backyard. We've been wanting to do that forever. So
Nice.
getting us a little better spot out there instead of having to be in the front yard with all of our redneck baby pool and all of that stuff.
But to answer your question, that's actually funny. To answer your question about the, hanging in and how are we doing that and encouraging others, I think one thing that we've done is we started every Saturday night on our street here, everybody gets out in their front yards at 6 o'clock and we have this block party. But it's everybody in their own individual yards. And so we've gotten to really know our neighbors.
That's awesome.
Really, really well because of this. And then we have neighbors that will like walk the street and come talk and everything like that. So we started that. Ryan's on. I think you interviewed the Hogans and y'all talked about the chats, the little things that they send back and forth and everything like that. The little, this is the crazy times and the memes that they send back and forth. I'm the moms group at Haygood has been great. We have started meeting in cul-de-sacs and 6-foot circles so that we can, just have some actual face-to-face interaction and see each other. I would, sharing our story through you is a way to say, hang in there, that you're not alone. I think that just, taking that extra step to talk to somebody, even if it is from 6 feet, when you see them, normally you'd be walking down the street and just be like, hey, and keep going. But now you actually stop and have a conversation and from a distance.
We have a new grandma.
Oh yeah, we have a new grandma that we adopted.
Oh, nice.
So Miss Sherry through the church, Wally connected us with her, and so we see Miss Sherry once a week. And MC draws her pictures and
she tells her
gossip. Nice.
She tells her that MC tells her that she's coming to eat tacos with us at El Taco. That's all once the germs are gone.
Once the germs
we're
are gone.
excited to have a new grandma.
So
that's awesome.
So yeah, we've done that, but I think just talking with people and having those interactions and being honest. That's another way I think we can all hang in there together, is being honest. To your point, not painting this rosy picture, but painting a true picture, the good and the bad and the in between.
Yeah, there's been several times where both her and I had the most important conference call or WebEx ever at the same time when both the girls weren't taking a nap, right? You got to figure out who's going to do what during that. And yeah, it didn't always end up great, but at the end of the day, we talked it out and we decided, we were a lot more vocal about why it didn't go the right way or it did go the right way, and we're talking through that, and it's just made us a lot stronger as a couple through that, to be honest, especially at this time of our lives with the 2 kids. So.
Yeah.
Let me ask about that too. There's probably couples out there trying to figure this out, how they just have time together. I've asked each group this. How do you encourage couples in the midst of this to find a little time for each other? I mean, I'm sure that's difficult for you guys too. Blair and I have discovered that sometimes we're just so tired to even have like a meal or a chat at the end of the day because of just trying to balance work and parenting at this point. It's always hard, but it's a different kind of hard right now.
I would say that it comes at the end of the day when the girls are asleep and what we call the world is quiet. The phones are down and the world is quiet.
Don't jinx it, Will.
We can sit there together, and I'll be honest, some of our bonding time doesn't necessarily mean talking. I talk all day as a salesperson. He's on conference calls all day. Just to sit in a room with him and just to sit there and like have the comfort of him next to me, but to know that I don't have to be on, to know that he loves me, and just for being me and in the presence of the 2 of us. And that actually is like a very comforting place, to know that, you know, when we do have our conversations and things like that, a lot of them actually happen when we go on those walks to get the wiggles out. MC will be riding her bike ahead. He'll have Francis strapped in, and me and him will just kind of chat along the way, because MC's picking up rocks and doing all kinds of things, so we can just have a conversation. But that's when
I think that's going to help a lot of people out, because sometimes you feel this pressure to want to talk and communicate, and that's certainly important. But sometimes, especially in the midst of this, you just need to sit and be quiet with each other.
Yeah. I mean, the 8-month-old is waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And the 3-year-old would stay up till 11 if you let her. So unless we like really have a good day where we're strict and enforcing the rules, we're on 14 hours a day. I mean, it's tough. So we got to find those times. And yeah, the peace of tranquil has been really nice.
Yeah, you find comfort in the silence sometimes, and it's nice to know that I don't have to entertain or be on, just here.
I mean, you know me well enough to know that if there was a live sporting event of any given thing, I would probably be watching it, right? But this has been a really nice welcome release from that and reprieve, because I'm not caring about the 15 baseball scores or the collegiate level. You know, it's fine. It's been nice, to be honest.
Ryan, do you find yourself sometimes when people ask you about, you know, what are you doing next Thursday, and you're like, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
nothing for you, you know?
Exactly. It's been nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like having that openness.
Yeah.
Well, last question, y'all. What do you miss about Haygood? Where do you look forward to, you know, about rejoining Haygood at some point here in the future?
It's family. It really is family. MC asks us all the time when we're going to go eat downstairs. She wants to know when we're going to go eat downstairs. It's become a part of her daily life that she, you know, talks about it. And when is she asks about choir. When is she going to sing in choir? And, you know, I think I touched on this earlier, with a 3-year-old and not being able, trying to give some sense of normalcy back to her, because this is the time that she's developing social skills. She's learning how to share. She's learning how to interact with others, how to play. She needs that. And so that's what we miss about Haygood, is truly this is the time in her life that those key building blocks are to be happening. And that's something that she can't get from us. She has to get that from peers. And so that's one of the things that I really, really miss, is that development and that socialness for her. The other thing that glaringly we learned is that Haygood was very instrumental in helping our children to do things, like learn to crawl and
Poor Francis.
I
think at this point MC was doing somersaults and Francis is like, yeah, I can sit up. Is that good enough? I'm like, for now, yeah, it's actually advantageous for us, because like know where she is. Yeah. We can put her down next to the desk and, you know, they got one under control. There's one right there. No, like props to RJ and Mahogany and everybody in the CDC. Like our children have had so many growth steps because of the amazing teaching that they've got at that school. I miss, first off, I haven't shed a tear every Wednesday because my phone at 5 says, hey, it's time for Wednesday Haygood supper. And I'm like, dismiss and cry. No, but it's those formal things that we set up where I get the informal, you know, running into you and running into Hogan and Townley and, you know, all the other dads and moms, and going out into the play area. And that's where you have the conversations where you get that healing, where you get that, you know, relatability, where you feel like you messed up and you kind of just passively tell your friends, this is what I did. And they're like, dude, we did the same thing last week. And then you're like, makes you feel more human and have that exchange with those folks, you know, just to kind of balance yourself out. You don't have that now. So you're like constantly worrying, am I doing good enough as a parent to guide them, you know?
Yeah, that's half of what church is just showing up for each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we miss. We miss the extension of family and the, like Ryan said, the showing up for each other and the camaraderie, and you just having a conversation and there's
Yeah.
4 people there to be like, oh no, we did that last week. That's the same thing. You're good. You're fine. Your child's still alive. You made it.
I grew up Catholic in a small town, and after church, it was an hour of talking in the parking lot. That's just how it was. But when I first moved here and I was a single young male and I went to a couple Catholic churches in the diocese, it was shuffle in, shuffle out. Nobody was talking to each other.
Yeah.
When me and her came to Haygood and met you guys, it was over. First time I saw it,
Yeah.
everybody was pouring into the parking lot talking about the week and what they planned on doing with each other. And I was like, this is the kind of place that I grew up in and what I'm accustomed to.
Yeah. I will say sometimes I'm around the church on Wednesdays, and it's really sad. 5 o'clock hits and it's just dead silent, and I'm just used to that buzz starting to flare up, so it's sad. But we will get to it will happen. At some point, we'll figure this thing out and be back together. But I just want to thank you guys. This has been really inspirational to me to hear from you and to see your faces. I'll definitely take some notes here too. So appreciate y'all's time. Any last words for the Haygood community or for others out there?
We miss you. I mean, that's the honest truth. We really, really do. We miss everyone there. We miss all of our, you're an extension of our family. You've been a part of our children's lives and growing up and MC-esque. And so we can't wait to come back. We can't wait to be back a part of the normalcy. And I know that the girls go back to school starting on the 29th, and we're super excited about that. And hopefully everything will go well and it'll just continue to open up.
Stay strong, keep the faith. We're all in this together. And once we're done, we'll all have one big party in the parking lot and talk until it gets way too dark and our kids are way too frustrated.
Love it. I love it. I look forward to that day. Thanks y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.